All right. Welcome back to episode 13 of the Jake Ellenbogen Show. I am Jake Ellenbogen, and today we are going to be talking about the aftermath, of course, the NFL playoffs, the Super Bowl, my thoughts on that. We're going to be talking about why I decided to take the high road and not gloat and throw shade at Lions fans, despite the fact I got death threats and bunch of hate thrown my way after, mind you, they won. We're going to talk about that. We're going to be talking about El Muerto. For whatever reason, I mean, Sony, I don't know what Sony's doing, to be honest with you. $400 million budget to have El Muerto, which is I guess, you know how like you have those songs that don't quite make an album, they call them B-sides. This would be like a D-side character for Spider-Man. I think he's in 2, and I could be wrong, and definitely correct me in the comments section or wherever if I am, but I'm pretty sure El Muerto is in like 2 comics with Spider-Man. Like, he's not a huge character, but for whatever reason they thought of making a full-length feature film with him. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea what the thought process is, but now I'm hearing that Christopher Nolan is going to be a part of it and directing it. So I just, wow. I mean, that's like taking, like, I don't even know. Like, that's like taking I don't know, one of those pizza. Yeah. Let's just say this. So you go to the store, and you know how you could buy pizza dough? It's like really cheap. You can make your own pizza at home. That's like taking like regular store-bought pizza dough and then turning it into like a New Haven style pizza, because it doesn't make any sense. Like to somehow end up with Christopher Nolan. I know Sony's big. I'm not saying they're not, but their movies look like they are the CW. Like, I don't know. But anyway, we'll get into all that. First off, let's talk about the games. First game, we had the Chiefs and Ravens. And let me tell you right now, okay, I am not ready for an entire offseason hearing about how Lamar Jackson isn't a good quarterback now. I'm not ready to hear for an entire offseason how Lamar Jackson is not a good quarterback. He can't win the big game. He's the reason they lost. I mean, I wish he played better, but he wasn't the main reason they lost. They lost because, let's be honest, defense was really good. They only ran the ball 16 times. So, I mean, that was the lowest in a 6-year span. That was the lowest since week 4 of 2017. They ran the ball 16 times against a not-so-good run defense. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't. But even more so, when you think about it, Zay Flowers had himself maybe the best game of his career. And to have him fumble at the 1-yard line and effectively end their season, because if he scores, I mean, 17-17, we're going to overtime, it's in Baltimore. This was his best game of his career. He almost had 2 touchdowns. He ends up fumbling at the 1-yard line, and that's pretty much it. The Ravens couldn't recover. They had a nice drive. It didn't matter. Then Lamar Jackson had the interception, throwing into triple coverage. And here's my thing. I saw people saying that, I don't know if you guys saw the tight end Likely, but Isaiah Likely was open. It's not open like how you would just throw it right to him on a line. You have to throw over the top. But he had over the top open. That's why he put his hand up and said, basically, Lamar, get me the ball. Lamar threw it just basically right into, 3 guys, and that's why it got picked. Did he play his best game? No. Can I even defend that? Not really. At the same time, I mean, I didn't like the play calling. I didn't like the game plan. You got to credit the Chiefs. I mean, I think their defense is a lot better than I expected. And it's funny, and we'll get into this in the next game, but it's funny because Patrick Mahomes just got it done, right? I mean, the best quarterbacks are the quarterbacks that can be a game manager if they need to. They can be, a system quarterback, but when it's time to step up, when it's time for them to, take the next step and actually, will their way to victory. And it doesn't happen every game, but more often than not, you can count on the best quarterbacks in the league to be able to step up in the big moments. Patrick Mahomes went 30 of 39 for 241 yards and a touchdown. I mean, not the greatest, right? 6.2 yards per pass. But that's a 100 passer rating, That's a 100 passer rating, a touchdown, no interceptions, he recovered a fumble. So he didn't fumble, he didn't give the ball away. But I think when you look at what Patrick Mahomes did for this team, I mean, let's be honest here. This wasn't a great offensive game on either side. These are two good defenses. The Ravens have been the best defense all year. Really no one outside of Matthew Stafford and the Rams have really given him fits. But, yeah, Patrick Mahomes holding him on 30 pass completions for 241 yards. I mean, that was pretty good. The run game, I mean, Isaiah Pacheco, 24 carries, 68 yards. But still, he had that one big run and, the one big play. And I just think that was really, that was the deciding factor of it. Not to mention Travis Kelce catching all of his 11 targets. That was huge. But yeah, I think, when push came to shove, Patrick Mahomes made more plays than Lamar Jackson. It's really what it comes down to. Lamar was 20 of 37 for 272 yards, a touchdown and interception. I don't understand why they put him in this position. I mean, Lamar Jackson led the team with 8 carries. The next was 3 with Gus Edwards, 3 with Justice Hill. Also, Justice Hill was horrible in this game. I mean, it was bad. I don't want to throw too much shade at him. I'm not trying to trash him. I'm definitely not calling him a trash NFL player, but that was bad. Watching him in pass pro, really struggling, hurt Lamar at times, and did nothing in the run game. So, yeah, it's a bummer. I wanted to see this team win it all. This is the team I was rooting for, but now, they're gone. And I mean, look, they went 13-4, great year and all, but really what it comes down to is that you can say, oh, well, this year, this was Lamar's first year healthy and they got to the AFC Championship game. But at the same time, this was Lamar's first year fully healthy, where they were able to move. It's like, can you guarantee that next year? Is this going to be an issue? And so I think that's the problem is, like, if you're going by that logic, like, okay, yeah, it's his first year healthy and all that. And it's hard to repeat. It's hard when you have a target on your back. Everyone knows the Ravens are going to be a problem next year. So they're going to have a target on their back. They got a number 1, first place schedule. Not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to get back here. I think this is their best chance and they blew it personally. And I don't think this is a great, Kansas City Chiefs team at 11-6. I think they should have been a lot better than what they were this year. But hey, they're getting hot at the right time, obviously. They're going to the Super Bowl now. Can't even believe I'm saying that. But those are the perks of having a good head coach in Andy Reid and, the best quarterback in the NFL in Patrick Mahomes. All right, moving on. Lions and 49ers. This game was absolutely brutal. If you are a Lions fan and you listen to this without obviously hate listening, I really genuinely feel bad for you. I know what it's like to watch a brutal loss and all that. I know what it's like. But the way they lost was wow. Being up 17, blowing it, only scoring one. They scored a touchdown, but it was in the fourth quarter at the end. It's just absolutely brutal. Once again, they kind of had a disappearing act in the second half. They did against the Rams. They got away with it against the Bucs. The 49ers are a really good football team, and they got a lot of talent where even though I don't know why they went 12-5, right? But even though they went 12-5, they got a lot of, talent. And I think this is a team where, they can come back from that deficit because of who they have. Other teams being down by 17, the Lions are probably in the Super Bowl. But when you have a Christian McCaffrey, you have Brock Purdy, you have Deebo Samuel, you have Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, it makes it difficult. Not to mention their defense. I thought their defense did a nice job. They put pressure on Jared Goff. I thought at times, they struggled against the run. I thought when push came to shove late in the game, I thought they did a decent job. But making plays, forcing the fumble on Jahmyr Gibbs, holding everyone under 100 yards receiving. I mean, we've seen Amon-Ra St. Brown give teams fits. We've seen Sam Laporta, although Laporta had himself a really good game. Aside from those two, Jameson Williams had the touchdown, but man, Josh Reynolds, the unforced errors there, dropping those passes is absolutely key for the 49ers to come back. But we're going to have a bigger discussion about this game because I think, Reynolds blew this game, and you could say what you will. Okay, this doesn't happen. If this, and this doesn't happen, okay, fine. The 49ers deserve to win the game. They made more plays. It doesn't matter. I mean, this is how football's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the tale of two halves. That's why a lot of Rams fans were annoyed because they got to watch essentially how the Rams, they played a lot better than the Niners did in the first half, and they were only down 4 at the half instead of being down 17. And then they outplayed the Lions the whole second half. And to lose to a team that disappeared in the second half, it wasn't a tale of two halves. Really, the Rams probably should have won that game. However, with the 49ers, the tale of two halves really came to the forefront. The 49ers were able to score in the second half, and the Lions didn't score until the very end of the game. The 49ers scored 27 unanswered. I mean, that's not good. That's really what it comes down to. The 49ers scored 27 unanswered in the second half. And, so I want to first start off by saying, let's just go with the Brock Purdy thing, because I really want to get this off my chest. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, then you've seen me tweet about all of that. Brock Purdy is not a system well, I don't want to say he's not, but he's not a game manager, okay? All the time do I hear he's a game manager. Oh my God, he's a game manager. He just checks it down. Some of the throws he had to make in this game were huge, but also some of the plays he made with his legs were even bigger. I just think Brock Purdy is overhated at this point, and I'm just tired of just the noise, It's kind of similar to the people that hate on the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. Like, the Chiefs annoy me because of their commercials. Taylor Swift does not bother me. The only people that annoy me now, the only type of people that annoy me now are the people that are bothered by Taylor Swift. I don't know why. And then the people that annoy me with the 49ers now, it's not even the Brock Purdy people. It's the people who are anti-Brock Purdy. And by annoying, I mean, I'll still talk to you and everything, but it gets annoying, When you hear that stuff, you get annoyed. My thought process is this. For a while, I thought Aaron Rodgers was the greatest quarterback of all time. And I thought Dan Marino was number 2. And I got a lot of shit for it because people are like, you're just hating on Tom Brady. Tom Brady just gets it done. It doesn't matter how talented these guys are. So to have literally the person admitting to me that they think that the two that I brought up were more talented, the whole purpose was that all it matters is winning. And I'm like, okay, fine. And nowadays, I don't really know if there's a greatest of all time because, we always say quarterback, but to me, I think the greatest player of all time is Aaron Donald. He just doesn't play quarterback and doesn't have multiple Super Bowls. Otherwise, yeah. So this is what I'm going to say. For years, I've listened to you guys, not all of you, but some of you, tell me how all that matters is winning the game. All that matters at the end of the day is that you got it done. Doesn't matter how it got done, just matters that you won the Super Bowl. Does not matter, even though I watched Tom Brady literally throw his team out of the Super Bowl against the Falcons and have to reel his way back into it, and he gets all the credit, even though he put them in the hole that they were in, doesn't matter because he got it done, right? Even though Tom Brady, his worst 2 Super Bowls were against the Rams, and he had 145 passing yards in the first Super Bowl against the Rams and won Super Bowl MVP. And then the second time he was bailed out by, Julian Edelman. He was bailed out by Gronkowski. He was bailed out by the defense. He has 2 Super Bowls in those. He played like shit in both of them. But he got bailed out. It does not matter. He won, right? That's all I ever hear. And I know this sounds like an anti-Tom Brady rant, but understand this. The point I'm making is that Tom Brady at no point has ever been the most talented quarterback to ever play the game. He's the most accomplished, and if you think he's the greatest, then maybe your version of great is different than mine. I have no issue with that, and I respectfully disagree. Respect your opinion, but I disagree. But the thing that bugs the shit out of me are the people that are like, yeah, Tom Brady, he's the GOAT, he wins, all that matters is winning. And then Brock Purdy, who, by the way, let me be very clear here, I didn't like him in the draft. I didn't like him at Iowa State. I didn't get the hype. And furthermore, I'll say this, I'm not a 49er fan. So this is an unbiased perspective, me just giving credit where credit's due. I am so tired of the hypocrisy. Okay? I'm tired of the hypocrites. I'm tired of people saying, on one hand, oh, well, all Brady did was just get it done, right? He got the job done. He won the games, all of that. Joe Montana just got it done. I'm tired of that. And the reason I'm tired of it is because that's not what's being said about Brock Purdy. That's not what's being said at all. The same people who tell me over and over and over again how Tom Brady is the GOAT because he just got it done aren't giving Brock Purdy his credit. The same people who said, and I was one of those people, I needed to know, can Brock Purdy overcome a deficit? They've now done that in back-to-back games in the playoffs. And all anybody wants to say is they got lucky. Or, oh, it wasn't the 49ers that won, it was the Lions that lost. No. The 49ers scored 27 unanswered in the second half. I'm sorry. You can't just say the Lions gave the game away. The 49ers also had to show up and play in the second half. Otherwise, you could have given the game away and you still wouldn't have given it all away. The other team needs to convert. The Packers game, Brock was bad. And then the final drive, he was great. He was great when he had to be. Isn't that the prerequisite? Just win? That's it, right? That's what you tell me with Tom Brady. We watched him play like absolute shit against the Falcons, but hey, he turned it on the second half. We watched him play like shit against the Rams, and at no point did he really look that great, but hey, he made 3 good throws in the entire Super Bowl and Super Bowl 53, and he got another Super Bowl for it. I mean, I thought there was no style points. Winning is winning. Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl when Patrick Mahomes had his entire offensive line injured, but yeah, all that matters is winning, right? No, because with Brock Purdy, it's different. With Brock Purdy, it's always, well, he didn't do this, but I need to see him do this. Bullshit. Because what I was saying, and I said this before the season, is I have yet to see him when the game collapses on him. Can he overcome it? They were down 17 coming out of the half. And they scored 27 unanswered. And Brock Purdy had over 300 total yards. He had a touchdown. Yes, he threw a bad interception. He did. But he had a touchdown. He didn't put the ball on the ground. And he ran. That was a huge quarterback run. He ran 5 times for 48 yards. Had a 21-yard run to pretty much end the game. We just didn't realize it at the time. Guys, if you don't like the 49ers, you don't like Brock Purdy, I get it, okay? I'm not a Brock Purdy fan. Let me be very clear. I want to call it like it is. I'm a straight shooter. You guys know that. I'm just so tired of the hypocrisy. I'm really tired of it because it's all all that matters is a win is a win is a win. But then when Brock Purdy wins, it's always, oh, well, they won because this, and this. It's come on. I understand you don't like him because he's on the Niners. You'd probably like him on any other team. I totally get that. But, when Cam Newton comes out and says he's a system quarterback, he says he's a game manager, that is a negative connotation. Saying somebody is a game manager, saying they're not very good. That's what game manager is. A game manager is somebody that can complete some passes, check down Charlie, just one Reed Riley, whatever you want to call them. That's what they are. They're not going outside the script. They're not going outside, the play. If it's not there, throw it away. They take care of the ball. No turnovers. They manage the game. That's what a game manager is. You're scared to let them actually win. You're scared to let them do the thing because you don't believe they can. Brock Purdy had to do multiple things that game managers simply cannot do. That throw over the middle that he made, I forget it. I think it was to, I want to say Ayuk. The throw to Ayuk was crazy. Now, he had some bad decisions. He did. But I think the throw to Ayuk was absolutely crazy. I think he made some other really talented throws. I understand people are upset because, well, there was an almost interception by a friend of my other show, Kendall Vildor. But the fact is this. Based on the prerequisite that you have set in place to call Tom Brady the GOAT, Brock Purdy is a very good quarterback and got the job done when he needed to. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Is he having the best postseason of all time? No, I'd argue that he hasn't really been that great. I thought he stepped up in a big way in the second half of that game. I didn't think he looked particularly well against the Packers. But this is a guy who had 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions this year. And he had, 113 passer rating. He has a career 111.4. He's only 24 years old. You got to give credit where credit's due. Now, I know you're going to hear it. I know I'm going to hear it. It's going to be, well, Jimmy Garoppolo also got to a Super Bowl, so did Colin Kaepernick. But my question is, if Brock Purdy does win the Super Bowl, which I've already prepared as a Rams fan, I prepared for it before the season started. I was like, you have to understand, I might not have them winning the Super Bowl. I had the Bengals beating the Lions before the season started. And of course, Burrow got hurt, a healthy Burrow, and I think he wins the AFC, but that's neither here nor there. The point I'm making is, even though I had Bengals over Lions, I always had in the back of my mind, this was very, very likely going to be a 49er Super Bowl season. This was going to be the season they finally get over the hump. And I've felt that way for a bit. So I've already prepared for it. But my thing is, what I don't want to see is are people, if he does win, if Brock Purdy does get the job done, the 49ers win the Super Bowl, I don't want to see any more of, that, well, we haven't, no. Stop. Just stop. Because the argument isn't Brock Purdy being elite. Okay? That's the big thing that I want to make very clear here. I am not saying Brock Purdy is a top 5 quarterback in football. But the argument that he is not good. I see so much I don't think he's very good. I think it's all the system. That is hogwash. I've seen him go off script more times than any of the times in the past Jimmy Garoppolo or any of those quarterbacks have. Okay? So that's my thing. And again, I've gotten hate from Rams fans like, Jake, you're a Rams fan. How dare you, say that Brock Purdy is good and goes against everything we stand for. Whatever, man. I just like to keep it real. I'm not trying to, say random shit. I want to keep it real. I want to be real. People aren't going to follow you if you're not real about what you do. And I don't know. That's just how I feel. And, you can agree with that all you want, but really what it comes down to is that if I'm an analyst and I'm not doing my, if I'm doing a disservice to the people listening to me, how are people going to continue to listen to my analysis, huh? Explain that to me. So, I don't know. It's just something that kind of bugs me because it's this big media topic and it shouldn't have to be. The bottom line is that Brock Purdy is a top 15 quarterback. No matter where you rank him, he is top 15. It doesn't matter, okay? And I do think he's better than Jared Goff. I think Goff has more experience, but I think I think Brock Purdy has more to him than Goff. And that's what I'll say. So, and I thought Jared Goff played well. But I can't stress enough, the hypocrisy of Brady gets to do whatever and he's the GOAT. But then, Brock Purdy is just not good because he didn't win in a certain way. I mean, it's ridiculous, folks. It's absolutely ridiculous at this point. So that was really my focal point there. I really wanted to touch on that. It was really bugging the shit out of me hearing it after the game. I understand you're upset. I understand Rams fans don't want to see the 49ers have another good quarterback. The bottom line is what we saw in the second half. He is here to stay. He might not ever be elite, but he's very good. Like, I think at the very worst, he's Kirk Cousins. Like, he's going to be like that. He's going to be around. It's really that fucking simple. He's not going anywhere. So you got to get with the program, or I don't know. But it's that simple. And I'm not like a Brock Purdy fan. I'm just telling you how it is. The throws he's made all throughout this year, that's not reminiscent of a guy who, is going to be out of the league soon. So I wanted to throw that out there. Now let's talk about the weird ass. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about the Lions fans. Because I had a lot of people asking me, Jake, Lions fans, they cursed you out. They downvoted all of your content, like came in droves, and essentially, content bombed your stuff. Your review bombed your content, right? This show especially. If you want to know why my show is a 3.2 and I have like over 80 people that reviewed it, it's because there were Lions fans that got so mad at my takes about why the Rams probably should have won the game that they went on here and they review bombed it. I got death threats. I had my co-host getting death threats. I had people saying they were going to kill my dog. I had people saying that they were going to do things to my mom. It was like messed up, okay? These people were fucked up. But then I get asked like by Rams fans, Jake, why are you choosing to take the high road? There's no need to. They were assholes. Well, here's the thing. One, I don't play for the Rams and I don't play for the Lions. So the trash talk that people keep saying is trash talk, which, by the way, I don't understand trash talk, because trash talk to me, you trash talk when you're playing golf and I wouldn't even do it personally, but when you're playing golf or you're playing somebody in one-on-one basketball or soccer or hockey, whatever, you are currently in the game playing. It is a level of being competitive. Okay. Me trash talking what other grown men are doing is absolutely insane. Like I again, all for it. If that's what you're into. For me personally, you will never catch me talking trash and saying, well, we were this, we were that. I wasn't on the field. I don't play quarterback, wide receiver, running back, or anything. The trash talking just never understood. And then on top of it, you have the debates, and I love their these debate pages and stuff. And most debates, like if you ever watch the NFC West roundtable that I do, with a bunch of great people over there, our debates are civil. But there's these war rooms and debates, and they're always just saying nasty shit at each other. And to me, that's just not what fandom is. I know for a lot of people that is what it is. But anyway, to make a long story short, I decided to go in a different route. Personally, the season's over. I would have rooted for the Lions had they made the Super Bowl over Kansas City. I'm not going to let irrelevant people get to me. I made that pledge after that game with the 49ers. I know people have seen it on my Twitter. I haven't really reached out to anybody. I haven't quote tweeted. Not saying I won't do the receipt game next year if we have a bunch of Rams haters that believe that this team isn't going to go to the Super Bowl or this team is going to tank, God forbid. I will be, retweeting those receipts. But for the most part, guys, I'm better than that. I know I'm better than that. And genuinely, most of you are better than that. Really what it comes down to is this. They had never been here before. But also, the whole idea of using they is a disservice because not all Lions fans feel the way that these assholes do. And, to me, I got a job to do. Any time that I'm taking away from making content that's not playing golf or traveling or being with my friends or dating is not fucking worth the time. You see what I'm saying? If I'm not creating content, I better be doing something to better my life. I better be doing something to take the load off. This is the opposite, because the last thing you want to do is when you're in the business that I am, where content is everything, you want to take the load off. You want to, kick back, relax, maybe have a beer, maybe watch, a Netflix show or a movie or hang out with your friends or play, indoor golf or outdoor golf when it's nice. See a movie at the movie theater, go to a game, go to a concert, eat pizza, sushi, whatever the fuck, right? Here's the deal. When you do content, when you do anything, when you do a lot of hard work, when you work hard, you need those things to take the load off. You need those things to avoid burnout. I've said this all year on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to avoid burnout. Well, a way to combat that is, so not only am I not making content, but now I'm running the risk that I'm going to stress myself out even more than I'm already stressed out, worrying about what these people think of me. I mean, I just got over it. Like, if you want to make a fake account of me, go ahead. That says way more about your life than it does mine. Another thing is 99% of these haters don't know who I am personally. They just saw what I put on Twitter. They didn't agree with it. And then for whatever reason, they acted just like uncivilized, petulant children. But really what it comes down to is this, like, I feel better off not getting into that. I feel like the better person. I know I'm the better person because while, and that's the thing, how like people will say, oh, you're not better than anybody. No one's better than, no, I'm better than all those people that are willing to spend time out of their day, just like you are. If you're, sitting back and relaxing and not paying any mind to it, you're a better person than the person that's going on Twitter, going on social media and attacking people personally, making fun of their appearance and so forth. I mean, that's just really what comes down to. It's not an ego thing. It's just a fact. I mean, who would be a better person to get a job? Who would be a better person to marry? Who would be a better person to go on vacation with, be friends with? I mean, come on now. Like, would you rather take the person that sits back, relax, and enjoys their life? Or would you take the person that's constantly berating people on social media behind a fake avatar? I mean, come on now. So anyway, my point is, it's not worth it. And I appreciate you guys reaching out and, having my back and, getting involved. I do. But from here on out, that is really the last you're going to see of me ever really getting into that. That was a lot. And I have been really good because at first I didn't know if I was going to handle being, potentially famous someday or whatever, or at least well known. I didn't know I'd be able to handle it because I do have a tendency to just kind of go off the deep end when people get pissed off, or people get annoying. But I've done a nice job. It's something I've grown into. I got a lot of shit early on when I started at 21 from some of my people that I would call friends at the time, air quotes needed, and then people on Twitter and so forth. But I've just gotten over it because all that does is take away the time that I can making more content for you guys. That's really what it does. Or it takes away content, or, it takes away time being able to spend time with my family, my dog, my friends, potentially find, the one, if you know what I mean, my life partner. I mean, taking away the time from those things to talk to some random fucking lowlife on the internet when they already have an opinion of me that's not going to change no matter how many times I do it, and they have nothing to lose and I have everything to lose with the way cancel culture is. I mean, yeah, it's just better to just steer clear of it. So look, in final, I'll just say this. I feel really bad for the Lions fans, the good Lions fans. I feel bad for them. That is probably the worst way you could have lost that game. Dominating at the half, believing that you were going to go to the Super Bowl, and then, losing, giving up 17 unanswered or 27 unanswered to Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Just not, that's brutal. It's been a good year, but honestly, the sad thing is, if you're a Lions fan, you also have to understand that you're probably losing Ben Johnson within the next week or so. He's probably going to be hired by the Commanders or the Seahawks. And when you lose Ben Johnson, the question is, does Jared Goff, what happens to Jared Goff? Is he going to still play at the same level? Are you going to be able to replicate that? Does the offense go down? You could also lose Aaron Glenn potentially. I mean, I'm not super high on Aaron Glenn as a defensive coordinator, but you could lose him. Jared Goff is also on a 1-year deal. So are you going to pay him? What are you going to do there? this was kind of like a window that, look, they're still young. They have a lot of talent, but we'll see how they kind of figure things out, because I think Dan Campbell has done a nice job with this team. But at the same time, it's like, they're in a weird position now where soon they're going to have to pay Jared again. And it's like, is Jared Goff worth giving that top dollar to, or is it better off, like, should you go out and get another quarterback? And so the Lions are in a weird position right now. Like, they look good, but it's almost like fool's gold in a way, because, you have those things hanging over your head. And I mean, Ben Johnson would be by far the biggest loss. You lose him, that offense is going to take a step back in a sense. So a lot of good opportunities out there to grab a guy to fill in for him, take over for him. But at the same time, Ben Johnson was one of the best play callers in all of football. I'd probably put it in the top 3. So this is a significant loss. It will happen, and we'll see if the Lions can overcome it. But to wrap this show up, I wanted to touch a little bit on what I found out, because I saw randomly came across my screen. Variety confirmed that Sony's El Muerto is back in production. The project is back in development without a star on the books, and the rumor is that Christopher Nolan is directing it. And I just don't even know what to say at this point, because Christopher Nolan directed the Batman trilogy with Christian Bale, and it was so good. I mean, it was really good. But the film is set to have a $400 million budget. It's the most expensive movie ever made for that. Sony is just, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't know what they're doing. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, maybe it's not real. I don't know. Heavy spoilers might be putting out something that's kind of a joke. I don't know. I have no idea what to say. I mean, it could be a joke. I don't know what the fuck, guys. I'm kind of at a loss for words. If Christopher Nolan is really directing the upcoming El Muerto movie, that is going to be crazy. There's no way, though. You know what? I'm going to call this bullshit. I'm going to say that, and I follow him. He follows me back. Heavy spoilers, really good YouTube channel. I'm going to say he's pulling everyone. I think he's kidding. Yeah, I think he's just making this up. I think this is absolute bullshit. But what's not bullshit is that the upcoming El Muerto film is going to actually happen. It's back in development after it was canceled. I don't know why. So I'm going to say the Christopher Nolan part is absolute bullshit. There's no way Christopher Nolan is directing that. It just wouldn't make any sense. But El Muerto is 100%. That's real. I don't see how that, I don't think Variety is lying. So we'll see what comes of it. I don't know how it's back in production. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's good. That's as good of a time as any to wrap this thing up, because I don't know what the fuck's going on right now. But all I know is that Sony, man, with the Mark Webb Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield, those had some of the best looking, that had the best CGI I think I've ever seen. And to go from that to what they have now is just, God. I mean, I'll probably check out Madam Web, but I don't know if in theaters. I might wait until it goes on streaming, because it doesn't look very good. And yeah, so luckily we have Venom, I guess, although I know a lot of people don't like Venom. Personally, I do. So looking forward to Venom 3 that comes out this year. Obviously, we get Deadpool 3 soon, so that's great. But good God, man. El Muerto, a D-list character. Let's give him a full-on feature film. It's like Sony does this on purpose. It's like they're trying to create the worst comic book universe to ever grace the earth. Meanwhile, Millie Alcock is going to be the new Supergirl in the MCU. She plays Rhaenyra in the House of the Dragon, which I can't wait. Season 2 is coming out soon. So yeah, she played a kid Rhaenyra. So Rhaenyra as a kid. So that actress is going to be playing, I forget her actual name, but we'll just call her Supergirl. She'll be in the James Gunn new DCEU. So that'll be fun. But that's all I got for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, sorry it took so long. I think it's been a day or two. So want to keep doing the daily stuff, but it has gotten a little busy on my end. So I'll put it out when I can. But I am going to be consistent with it. So you will see plenty of episodes a week. But I appreciate you guys as always for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, folks. Later.